Have you ever felt trapped in a heated argument with no way out? Do you wish you had the power to turn conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding? Imagine a life where disagreements don't leave you frustrated or defeated, but instead empower you to become stronger and wiser. This video is your key to unlocking that life. We're about to dive deep into powerful strategies that will revolutionize the way you handle conflict, leaving you with skills that not only resolve disputes, but also enhance your relationships and inner peace. Stay with us until the end and discover how these transformative methods can change your life forever. Way 1. Embrace active listening. Conflict often arises from misunderstandings and miscommunications. In the heat of an argument, it's easy to become defensive, to focus on our own points, and to prepare counter-arguments while the other person is speaking. This approach only escalates tension and widens the gap between conflicting parties. The first life-changing way to deal with conflict is to embrace active listening, a powerful tool that can transform confrontations into meaningful conversations and foster deeper connections. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their perspective, and responding thoughtfully. It involves paying attention not just to the content of the speech, but also to the emotions and intentions behind it. By practicing active listening, you show respect, empathy, and a genuine interest in the other person's viewpoint, which can diffuse conflict and pave the way for resolution. One of the most challenging aspects of active listening is mastering the power of silence. When someone else is speaking, resist the urge to interrupt or immediately formulate your response. Allow them to express their thoughts fully without interjecting. This silence is not passive. It's a dynamic space where you are processing their words, emotions, and the underlying messages. Consider a moment in your own life when you felt truly heard. How did it make you feel? Valued, respected, perhaps even relieved? When you provide that same space for others, you create an environment where they feel safe to open up, which is crucial in resolving conflicts. To ensure you've understood the other person correctly, use reflecting and paraphrasing techniques. After they've spoken, summarize their main points in your own words and reflect them back. For example, you might say, "What I'm hearing is that you're upset because you feel your efforts aren't being recognized. Is that correct?" This technique serves two purposes. It shows the speaker that you are paying attention, and it gives them an opportunity to clarify if you've misunderstood. Reflecting their emotions is equally important. Acknowledging feelings such as frustration, anger, or disappointment can validate their experience and build a bridge of empathy. You could say, "I can sense that this situation is really frustrating for you." This simple acknowledgement can significantly reduce tension and open the door to a more constructive dialogue. Active listening isn't just about words. Non-verbal cues play a critical role. Maintain eye contact to show you are engaged and interested. Nod occasionally to indicate understanding and agreement. Avoid crossing your arms or displaying defensive body language, as this can create a barrier. Your body language should convey openness and attentiveness, encouraging the other person to communicate more freely. People often mirror the emotions of those they are interacting with. If you remain calm, composed, and attentive, the other person is likely to reflect these qualities back to you. On the other hand, if you exhibit anger or impatience, they may respond in kind, escalating the conflict. By controlling your own emotional responses and demonstrating active listening, you set the tone for a more positive and productive exchange. Another essential component of active listening is asking open-ended questions. These questions encourage the speaker to elaborate and provide more insight into their thoughts and feelings. Instead of asking, Are you mad about what happened? You might ask, how did the situation make you feel? This approach invites a more detailed response and demonstrates your willingness to understand their perspective deeply. Empathy is at the heart of active listening. It's the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see the world through their eyes. When you listen with empathy, you go beyond mere words and connect with the person's emotional experience. This connection can transform conflict into collaboration as the other person feels heard and understood. Let's illustrate the power of active listening with a real-life scenario. Imagine a workplace conflict where two colleagues, Sarah and Tom, are at odds over project responsibilities. Tom feels overwhelmed and unsupported, while Sarah believes she's already contributing more than her fair share. Instead of arguing back and forth, Sarah decides to practice active listening. She asks Tom to share his concerns and listens without interrupting. Tom explains that he's struggling with his workload and feels unappreciated. Sarah reflects his feelings, saying, "I understand that you're feeling overwhelmed and unrecognized for your efforts." She then asks open-ended questions to delve deeper, such as, "Can you tell me more about the specific challenges you're facing?" Through this process, Sarah learns that Tom has been dealing with personal issues at home, which have affected his performance at work. By actively listening, she gains a comprehensive understanding of Tom's situation and can empathize with his struggle. This newfound empathy allows Sarah to suggest a more balanced distribution of tasks and offer support, transforming the conflict into a cooperative effort to find a solution. Like any skill, active listening takes practice. Start by applying it in low-stakes situations, such as casual conversations with friends or family. Gradually incorporate it into more challenging interactions. The more you practice, the more natural it will become, and the greater impact it will have on your ability to manage and resolve conflicts. The reward for mastering active listening is profound. You'll find that conflicts become less frequent and less intense. Relationships will strengthen as people feel valued and understood. You'll develop a reputation as someone who is fair, empathetic, and wise. Most importantly, you'll experience a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction in your interactions, knowing that you have the power to turn discord into harmony. Incorporating active listening into your conflict resolution toolkit is a transformative step towards a more harmonious and fulfilling life. By truly hearing others, you bridge gaps, build trust, and create opportunities for growth and connection. Embrace this powerful skill and watch as it changes not only how you handle conflict, but how you relate to everyone around you. Way 2. Cultivate emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is a critical component in effectively dealing with conflict. It involves understanding and managing your own emotions, as well as recognizing and influencing the emotions of others. By cultivating emotional intelligence, you can navigate conflicts with greater clarity, control, and empathy, leading to more positive outcomes. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, understand, manage, and regulate emotions. It encompasses self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These competencies allow you to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically, making EI a vital skill in resolving conflicts. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It involves recognizing your own emotions, understanding what triggers them, and acknowledging how they affect your behavior and interactions. When you are aware of your emotional state, you can take steps to manage it, preventing reactive responses that can escalate conflicts. Start by paying attention to your emotional reactions during conflicts. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? How are my emotions influencing my thoughts and actions? By answering these questions, you gain insight into your emotional patterns and can begin to address them constructively. Once you are aware of your emotions, the next step is to manage them effectively. Self-regulation involves controlling impulsive reactions, maintaining composure, and adapting to changing circumstances. It requires practice and discipline, but is essential for resolving conflicts calmly and rationally. Techniques for self-regulation include deep breathing. Take slow, deep breaths to calm your nervous system and reduce emotional intensity. Pause and reflect. Before responding, take a moment to consider the best course of action. Positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations to shift your mindset. Mindfulness. Practice mindfulness to stay present and focused, reducing emotional reactivity. By mastering self-regulation, you can respond to conflicts with a clear and level head, fostering more productive discussions. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their feelings and perspectives. It is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence and essential for resolving conflicts amicably. When you empathize with others, you validate their emotions and experiences, building trust and rapport. To cultivate empathy, listen actively. Pay close attention to what the other person is saying and feeling. Ask questions. Show genuine interest in their perspective by asking open-ended questions. Acknowledge feelings. Validate their emotions by acknowledging and reflecting them. Share your own feelings. Be open about your own emotions, creating a space for mutual understanding. Empathy bridges the gap between conflicting parties, allowing for deeper connection and collaboration. Strong social skills enable you to communicate effectively, build relationships, and manage conflicts. They involve verbal and non-verbal communication, active listening, persuasion, and collaboration. By honing your social skills, you can navigate conflicts with tact and diplomacy, achieving mutually beneficial resolutions. Key social skills include effective communication. Clearly articulate your thoughts and feelings while also listening to others. Conflict resolution. Identify common ground and work towards solutions that satisfy all parties. Building rapport. Establish trust and positive relationships through respectful and empathetic interactions. Influence and persuasion. Use your understanding of emotions to influence others positively and negotiate successfully. Developing these skills enhances your ability to manage conflicts and fosters stronger, more harmonious relationships. Motivation within the context of emotional intelligence refers to the drive to pursue goals with energy and persistence. In conflict resolution, it means staying committed to finding a resolution and fostering positive outcomes, even when the process is challenging. To harness motivation, set clear goals. Define what you want to achieve from the conflict resolution process. Stay positive. Maintain a hopeful and optimistic outlook, even in difficult situations. Persevere. Stay committed to resolving the conflict, even when faced with setbacks. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge and celebrate small victories along the way. Motivation keeps you focused and resilient, driving you towards successful conflict resolution. Imagine a family conflict where parents and teenagers clash over curfew rules. The parents feel disrespected when the rules are ignored, while the teenagers feel their autonomy is being stifled. By applying emotional intelligence, the parents can approach the situation differently. They start with self-awareness, recognizing their frustration and concern for their children's safety. They practice self-regulation by taking a moment to calm down before addressing the issue. They then use empathy to understand their teenagers' desire for independence and acknowledge their feelings. With strong social skills, the parents initiate a calm and respectful conversation. They communicate their concerns clearly and listen to the teenager's perspectives. Together, they explore possible compromises, such as extending the curfew on weekends. Throughout the process, the parents remain motivated to find a solution that respects both safety and independence. Cultivating emotional intelligence is an ongoing journey. It requires continuous self-reflection, practice, and dedication. Start by incorporating small changes into your daily interactions. Pay attention to your emotions, practice self-regulation, empathize with others, and refine your social skills. The reward for developing emotional intelligence is profound. You'll find that conflicts become less daunting and more manageable. Relationships will improve as you navigate them with empathy and understanding. You'll gain a reputation as someone who is emotionally intelligent, compassionate, and effective in resolving disputes. Most importantly, you'll experience greater inner peace and satisfaction, knowing that you have the tools to handle any conflict with grace and wisdom. Embracing emotional intelligence in your conflict resolution approach is a transformative step towards a more harmonious and fulfilling life. By understanding and managing emotions, you bridge gaps, build trust, and create opportunities for growth and connection. Cultivate this powerful skill and watch as it changes not only how you handle conflict, but how you relate to everyone around you. Way 3. Establish clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is a crucial strategy in conflict resolution. Boundaries define what is acceptable and what is not, creating a framework that respects the needs and limits of all parties involved. By establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, you can prevent misunderstandings, reduce tension, and foster healthier interactions. Boundaries are the invisible lines that demarcate where one person ends and another begins. They can be physical, emotional, mental, or social, and they serve to protect your personal space, values, and well-being. In the context of conflict resolution, clear boundaries help clarify expectations, minimize friction, and promote mutual respect. Without boundaries, relationships can become strained and conflicts can escalate. Boundaries provide a sense of security and clarity, allowing individuals to express their needs and limits without fear of being overwhelmed or disrespected. They empower you to take control of your interactions and ensure that your rights and responsibilities are honored. The first step in establishing boundaries is identifying them. Reflect on your personal values, needs, and limits. Consider what makes you feel comfortable, respected, and safe, as well as what triggers discomfort, stress, or resentment. Ask yourself, what behaviors or situations make me feel disrespected or violated? What do I need to feel secure and valued in my interactions? Where do I draw the line between acceptable and unacceptable behavior? By answering these questions, you gain a clearer understanding of your boundaries and can articulate them more effectively. Once you have identified your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly and assertively. This involves expressing your needs and limits in a way that is respectful and firm, without being aggressive or confrontational. Effective communication of boundaries includes: be direct. Clearly state your boundaries without ambiguity. For example, I need some quiet time after work to recharge, so I'd appreciate it if we could keep the noise down during that time. Use I statements. Frame your boundaries from your perspective to avoid sounding accusatory. For example, I feel overwhelmed when there are too many tasks at once. Can we prioritize them together? Be consistent. Maintain your boundaries consistently to reinforce their importance. Inconsistency can lead to confusion and undermine the effectiveness of your boundaries. Be respectful. Communicate your boundaries with respect for others' feelings and perspectives. Acknowledge their needs while asserting your own. Setting boundaries is only effective if you enforce them. This means taking action when your boundaries are crossed and reinforcing them with appropriate consequences. Enforcing boundaries includes set consequences. Clearly define the consequences of crossing your boundaries. For example, if you continue to interrupt me during meetings, I will have to address it with our supervisor. Follow through. Consistently enforce the consequences when your boundaries are violated. This shows that you are serious about your limits and helps to prevent future violations. Stay firm. Stand by your boundaries even when it's difficult. It may be uncomfortable at first, but over time, others will learn to respect and honor your limits. While setting boundaries is about protecting your needs, it's also important to consider the needs and perspectives of others. Empathy plays a crucial role in this process. By understanding and respecting others' boundaries, you create a reciprocal environment where mutual respect and consideration are prioritized. This fosters healthier and more cooperative relationships. Imagine a scenario where a colleague frequently interrupts you during meetings, making it difficult for you to express your ideas. This behavior not only disrupts the flow of the meeting, but also undermines your confidence and contribution. To address this, you decide to set a clear boundary. You identify that your need for respectful communication and uninterrupted speaking time is being violated. You then communicate your boundary directly to your colleague, saying, "I feel frustrated when I'm interrupted during meetings. I'd appreciate it if you could allow me to finish my thoughts before responding." You also set a consequence. If the interruptions continue, I will bring this issue up with our team leader to find a better solution. By clearly stating your boundary and the consequence, you assert your need for respect while also providing a clear expectation for future interactions. Just as you set and enforce your own boundaries, it's important to respect the boundaries of others. This means listen actively, pay attention to the boundaries others communicate, and take them seriously. Acknowledge and validate. Show that you understand and respect their limits by acknowledging them. Adjust your behavior. Modify your actions to honor others' boundaries, fostering a more respectful and harmonious interaction. The reward for establishing clear boundaries is immense. You'll experience less stress and resentment as your needs and limits are respected. Relationships will improve as others understand what is acceptable and strive to honor your boundaries. You'll gain a sense of empowerment and control over your interactions, reducing the likelihood of conflicts and enhancing your overall well-being. By setting clear boundaries, you create a framework for healthier, more respectful relationships. This empowers you to navigate conflicts with confidence and clarity, fostering an environment where mutual respect and understanding prevail. Embrace the power of boundaries and watch as it transforms your interactions and reduces conflict in your life. Way 4. Practice assertive communication. Assertive communication is a powerful tool in conflict resolution. It allows you to express your thoughts, feelings, and needs openly and honestly while respecting others. By practicing assertive communication, you can address conflicts head-on, find mutually satisfying solutions, and build stronger relationships. Assertive communication is a balanced approach that stands between passive and aggressive communication. Passive communicators often avoid expressing their needs and opinions, leading to resentment and frustration. Aggressive communicators, on the other hand, express their needs and opinions forcefully, often at the expense of others. Assertive communication strikes a balance by expressing your needs and opinions clearly and respectfully, without undermining others. Assertive communication has numerous benefits. Clarity. It reduces misunderstandings by clearly expressing your thoughts and needs. Respect. It fosters mutual respect by valuing both your needs and the needs of others. Confidence. It boosts self-esteem and confidence as you learn to stand up for yourself. Conflict resolution. It promotes healthier, more constructive ways to resolve conflicts. Healthy relationships. It strengthens relationships by fostering open, honest, and respectful communication. To practice assertive communication effectively, focus on these key elements. Use I statements. I statements help you express your feelings and needs without sounding accusatory. They take responsibility for your emotions and reduce the likelihood of the other person becoming defensive. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you might say, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted." Be clear and direct. Clearly state your thoughts, feelings, and needs without beating around the bush. Being direct ensures that your message is understood. For example, instead of hinting that you need help, say, "I need your assistance with this project." Stay calm and composed. Maintain a calm and steady tone of voice. This helps convey your message without escalating tension. Practice deep breathing or pausing to collect your thoughts if you feel yourself becoming agitated. Respect others. Show respect for the other person's feelings and needs. This fosters a more positive interaction and encourages them to be more receptive to your message. For example, say, "I understand that you have your own perspective, but I'd like to share mine as well." Use positive body language. Your body language should match your words. Maintain eye contact, use open gestures, and avoid crossing your arms or appearing defensive. Positive body language reinforces your assertive message. Here are some techniques to help you practice assertive communication effectively. The broken record technique. Repeat your message calmly and consistently without becoming angry or frustrated. This reinforces your point without escalating the conflict. For example, if someone continues to interrupt you, calmly say, "I need to finish my point first," each time they interrupt. Fogging. Acknowledge any truth in the criticism or feedback without becoming defensive. This shows that you are open to hearing others' perspectives while still maintaining your stance. For example, if someone says, "You're always late," you might respond, "I understand that my lateness has been frustrating. I'm working on improving my punctuality." Negative assertion. Accept your mistakes or faults openly and honestly without feeling overly guilty or defensive. This demonstrates self-awareness and a willingness to improve. For example, if you made an error in a report, you could say, "You're right, I made a mistake in the report. I'll correct it right away." Positive inquiry. Encourage constructive feedback by asking for specific information. This helps you understand others' perspectives and find areas for improvement. For example, ask, "Can you tell me more about what you think I could improve in my presentation?" Consider a situation where a team member regularly takes credit for your ideas during meetings. This behavior not only undermines your contributions, but also creates tension and resentment. Using assertive communication, you can address this issue effectively. First, you use I statements to express your feelings. "I feel frustrated when my ideas are presented without acknowledgement." Next, you clearly and directly state your need. "I need my contributions to be recognized during meetings." Throughout the conversation, you stay calm and composed, maintaining a respectful tone and positive body language. To reinforce your message, you might use the broken record technique. "I need my contributions to be recognized." By consistently and calmly stating your need, you emphasize its importance. You also practice fogging by acknowledging any valid points the team member may have. I understand that collaboration is important, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. However, recognizing individual contributions is also crucial. By practicing assertive communication, you address the issue head-on, foster mutual respect, and promote a healthier team dynamic. The reward for mastering assertive communication is profound. You'll find that conflicts become less intimidating and more manageable. Relationships will strengthen as open and honest communication fosters trust and respect. You'll gain confidence and self-esteem as you learn to express your needs and stand up for yourself. Most importantly, you'll experience greater satisfaction and harmony in your interactions, knowing that you can navigate conflicts effectively and constructively. Embracing assertive communication is a transformative step towards a more empowered and fulfilling life. By expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs clearly and respectfully, you build stronger relationships, reduce misunderstandings, and resolve conflicts more effectively. Practice this powerful skill and watch as it changes not only how you handle conflict, but how you relate to everyone around you. Way 5. Develop problem-solving skills. Effective conflict resolution often hinges on the ability to solve problems creatively and collaboratively. Developing strong problem-solving skills can transform conflicts from destructive confrontations into opportunities for growth and cooperation. By approaching conflicts with a problem-solving mindset, you can identify root causes, generate innovative solutions, and foster a sense of shared achievement. Problem-solving in conflict resolution involves systematically identifying the underlying issues, generating possible solutions, and implementing the most effective one. This approach requires open-mindedness, creativity, and collaboration, enabling all parties to contribute to the resolution process and feel invested in the outcome. The problem-solving process can be broken down into several key steps. Identify the problem. The first step is to clearly define the problem. This involves understanding the conflict from all perspectives and identifying the core issues that need to be addressed. Effective problem identification requires active listening. Listen carefully to all parties involved to understand their viewpoints and concerns. Clarification. Ask questions to clarify any ambiguities and ensure a comprehensive understanding of the problem. Agreement. Reach a consensus on what the main issues are, ensuring that everyone is on the same page. Analyze the problem. Once the problem is identified, analyze its root causes. This step involves digging deeper into the underlying factors contributing to the conflict. Consider context. Examine the context in which the conflict arose, including any external factors or pressures. Patterns. Look for patterns or recurring issues that might indicate deeper problems. Stakeholders. Identify all stakeholders and understand how the problem affects each of them. Generate possible solutions. Brainstorming is a key part of the problem-solving process. Encourage all parties to contribute ideas for possible solutions without immediately judging or dismissing them. Effective brainstorming involves open-mindedness. Encourage creative thinking and be open to all suggestions, even unconventional ones. Quantity over quality. Focus on generating a large number of ideas initially rather than evaluating their feasibility. Inclusivity. Ensure that everyone has an opportunity to contribute, fostering a sense of ownership and collaboration. Evaluate and select the best solution. After generating a list of possible solutions, evaluate each one based on its feasibility, effectiveness, and potential impact. Consider pros and cons. Assess the advantages and disadvantages of each solution. Feasibility. Determine whether the solution is realistic and achievable given the resources and constraints. Consensus. Strive to reach a consensus on the best solution, ensuring that all parties support the decision. Implement the solution. Once a solution is selected, develop a clear plan for implementation. This involves action steps. Outline the specific steps needed to implement the solution. Responsibilities. Assign responsibilities to ensure accountability and follow through. Timeline. Establish a timeline for implementation, including milestones and deadlines. Monitor and evaluate the outcome. After implementing the solution, monitor its effectiveness and evaluate the outcome. This involves feedback. Gather feedback from all parties involved to assess how well the solution is working. Adjustments. Make any necessary adjustments to the solution or implementation plan based on feedback and results. Reflection. Reflect on the process and outcome to identify any lessons learned for future conflict resolution efforts. Imagine a scenario where a project team is struggling with missed deadlines and poor communication. This has led to frustration and blame among team members, creating a toxic work environment. Using problem-solving skills, the team can address the conflict effectively. They start by identifying the problem, missed deadlines, and poor communication. Through active listening and clarification, they agree that the core issue is a lack of clear roles and expectations. Next, they analyze the problem by examining the context and identifying patterns. They find that team members are unclear about their responsibilities and that there is no effective system for tracking progress. The team then generates possible solutions through brainstorming. Ideas include creating a project management system, holding regular check-in meetings, and clarifying roles and responsibilities. After evaluating the pros and cons of each solution, they decide to implement a project management system and establish regular check-in meetings. They develop a clear plan for implementation, assign responsibilities, and set a timeline. As they implement the solution, they monitor progress and gather feedback from team members. They make adjustments as needed and reflect on the process to improve future project management practices. By approaching the conflict with a problem-solving mindset, the team not only resolves the immediate issues, but also creates a more collaborative and productive work environment. Creativity plays a crucial role in problem-solving. It involves thinking outside the box and exploring innovative solutions that might not be immediately obvious. To foster creativity, encourage diverse perspectives. Include people with different backgrounds and viewpoints in the brainstorming process. Create a safe space. Foster an environment where all ideas are welcomed and valued without fear of criticism. Challenge assumptions. Question existing assumptions and consider alternative approaches. Effective problem-solving often requires collaboration and teamwork. By working together, individuals can pool their knowledge, skills, and resources to find the best solution. To enhance collaboration, build trust. Establish trust among team members through open and honest communication. Foster respect. Respect and value each person's contributions and perspectives. Promote accountability. Ensure that everyone is accountable for their roles and responsibilities in the problem-solving process. The reward for developing problem-solving skills is significant. You'll find that conflicts become opportunities for growth and innovation rather than obstacles. Relationships will strengthen as you collaborate and work together towards common goals. You'll gain a sense of accomplishment and empowerment as you successfully navigate and resolve complex issues. Most importantly, you'll foster a culture of continuous improvement and cooperation, leading to more harmonious and productive interactions. By developing problem-solving skills, you transform the way you handle conflicts. Embrace this powerful approach and watch as it not only resolves conflicts, but also enhances your relationships, creativity, and collaboration. Way 6. Master the art of active listening. Active listening is a powerful tool in conflict resolution. It goes beyond simply hearing words. It involves fully engaging with the speaker, understanding their message, and responding thoughtfully. By mastering the art of active listening, you can bridge communication gaps, build trust, and foster a deeper understanding, all of which are essential for resolving conflicts effectively. Active listening is a communication technique that requires the listener to fully concentrate, understand, respond, and then remember what is being said. It involves listening with all senses and giving full attention to the speaker. This technique helps in accurately interpreting messages and responding in a way that acknowledges and validates the speaker's perspective. The importance of active listening in conflict resolution. Active listening plays a crucial role in conflict resolution by reducing misunderstandings. It ensures that you accurately understand the other person's message, reducing the risk of misinterpretations that can escalate conflicts. Building trust. It shows that you value and respect the speaker's perspective, which fosters trust and openness. Promoting empathy. It allows you to fully grasp the emotions and concerns of the speaker, fostering empathy and connection. Facilitating. Problem solving. It helps in identifying the root causes of the conflict and finding mutually acceptable solutions. Show that you're listening. Use body language and verbal cues to indicate that you are listening. Nod occasionally, use facial expressions that match the speaker's emotions, and use brief verbal acknowledgements like, "I see," or "go on." Provide feedback. Reflect back what you have heard to show that you understand the message. Paraphrase the speaker's words and ask clarifying questions. For example, "What I hear you saying is," or "Can you explain more about?" Defer judgment. Avoid interrupting or jumping to conclusions. Let the speaker finish their thoughts before responding. Keep an open mind and refrain from forming counter-arguments while the other person is speaking. Respond appropriately. Respond thoughtfully, considering the speaker's perspective. Validate their feelings and experiences and provide constructive feedback or solutions. Show empathy and understanding in your response. Here are some techniques to enhance your active listening skills. Paraphrasing. Restate the speaker's message in your own words to confirm your understanding. For example, "So, what you're saying is that you feel overlooked when decisions are made without your input." Summarizing. Provide a brief summary of what the speaker has said, capturing the main points. This helps to clarify and reinforce the message. For example, "In summary, you're concerned about the lack of communication and its impact on our project." Clarifying questions. Ask questions to clarify any ambiguities and gain a deeper understanding. For example, "Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?" Or, "What specific examples can you provide?" Reflecting emotions. Acknowledge and validate the speaker's emotions. This shows empathy and understanding. For example, "It sounds like you're feeling really frustrated by the current situation." Encouraging. Use verbal and non-verbal cues to encourage the speaker to continue sharing. This can include nodding, maintaining eye contact, and saying, "Tell me more about that." Imagine a scenario where a coworker feels excluded from important decisions, leading to resentment and conflict. By practicing active listening, you can address this issue effectively. Start by giving the coworker your full attention. Put away distractions, make eye contact, and listen without interrupting. Use verbal and non-verbal cues to show that you're engaged. As they express their concerns, Paraphrase their message to confirm your understanding. So, you feel excluded from important decisions, and this makes you feel undervalued. Ask clarifying questions to gain more insight. Can you give me an example of a decision where you felt left out? Reflect their emotions to show empathy. I understand that feeling excluded can be really frustrating and demotivating. Summarize their main points to reinforce your understanding. In summary, you're asking for more transparency and involvement in decision-making processes. By practicing active listening, you not only address the co-worker's concerns, but also build trust and foster a more inclusive and collaborative environment. Empathy is a key component of active listening. It involves understanding and sharing the feelings of the speaker, which helps to build a deeper connection and resolve conflicts more effectively. To enhance empathy in active listening, put yourself in their shoes. Try to see the situation from the speaker's perspective. Acknowledge their feelings. Validate their emotions by acknowledging their experience. Show compassion. Respond with kindness and understanding, even if you don't fully agree with their viewpoint. Active listening can be challenging due to various barriers, such as distractions, preconceived notions, and emotional reactions. To overcome these barriers, minimize distractions. Create a conducive environment for listening by eliminating potential distractions. Stay open-minded. Keep an open mind and avoid jumping to conclusions or judgments. Manage emotions. Practice emotional regulation to stay calm and focused during the conversation. The reward for mastering active listening is significant. You'll find that conflicts are resolved more quickly and effectively as mutual understanding and empathy are enhanced. Relationships will strengthen as trust and respect are built through attentive and thoughtful communication. You'll gain a reputation as a compassionate and skilled communicator, capable of navigating complex interactions with ease. Most importantly, you'll experience greater satisfaction and harmony in your interactions, knowing that you can truly connect with others and resolve conflicts constructively. By mastering the art of active listening, you transform the way you handle conflicts. Embrace this powerful skill and watch as it not only resolves conflicts, but also enhances your relationships, empathy, and understanding. Way 7. Practice emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is a crucial skill in conflict resolution. It involves recognizing, understanding, and managing your own emotions, as well as empathizing with the emotions of others. By cultivating emotional intelligence, you can navigate conflicts with greater empathy, self-awareness, and control, leading to more effective and harmonious resolutions. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, evaluate, and manage emotions in yourself and others. It comprises several key components: self-awareness, recognizing your emotions and understanding how they affect your thoughts and behavior; self-regulation, managing your emotions healthily and constructively rather than letting them control you; empathy, understanding and sharing the feelings of others, which fosters stronger connections and better communication; social skills, navigating social interactions effectively, building relationships, and managing conflict. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in resolving conflicts by helping you stay calm, understand others' perspectives, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It enables you to create a more positive and cooperative atmosphere, which is essential for resolving disagreements and finding common ground. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It involves recognizing your emotions as they arise and understanding their impact on your behavior. To cultivate self-awareness, reflect on your emotions. Take time to reflect on your emotional responses to different situations. Identify patterns and triggers that influence your behavior. Label your emotions. Accurately labeling your emotions helps you understand them better. Instead of saying, "I'm upset," specify whether you feel frustrated, anxious, or disappointed. Mindfulness practices. Engage in mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing to stay present and attuned to your emotions. Self-regulation involves managing your emotions constructively, especially during conflicts. It helps you stay calm and composed, making it easier to communicate effectively and find solutions. To practice self-regulation, pause and breathe. When you feel your emotions rising, take a moment to pause and breathe deeply. This helps you regain control and respond more thoughtfully. Positive self-talk. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Remind yourself that you can handle the situation calmly and constructively. Set boundaries. Establish boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. This might involve stepping away from a heated discussion to cool down before continuing. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is crucial for building trust, fostering understanding, and resolving conflicts. To develop empathy, listen actively. Pay full attention to the speaker, showing that you value their perspective. Use active listening techniques to reflect and validate their feelings. Put yourself in their shoes. Try to imagine how the other person feels and why they might be experiencing those emotions. This helps you gain a deeper understanding of their perspective. Respond with compassion. Acknowledge the other person's feelings and respond with kindness and understanding. Even if you don't agree with their viewpoint, showing empathy can diffuse tension. Social skills are essential for navigating interpersonal interactions and managing conflicts. They help you communicate effectively, build rapport, and collaborate with others. To enhance your social skills, practice assertive communication. Express your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully, while also considering the needs and perspectives of others. Build rapport. Establish positive relationships by showing genuine interest in others, engaging in small talk, and finding common ground. Manage conflict constructively. Approach conflicts with a problem-solving mindset, seeking solutions that benefit all parties involved. Imagine a situation where a colleague criticizes your work in a meeting, leading to feelings of anger and defensiveness. By applying emotional intelligence, you can handle the situation more effectively. First, use self-awareness to recognize your immediate emotional response. Acknowledge that you feel angry and defensive. Next, practice self-regulation by taking a deep breath and pausing before responding. This helps you regain control and prevent an impulsive reaction. Use empathy to understand your colleague's perspective. Consider why they might be offering criticism and what their underlying concerns might be. Listen actively to their feedback, reflecting their points to show that you understand. Respond with assertive communication, expressing your perspective respectfully. I understand that you're concerned about the project timeline. I felt frustrated because I believe my contributions weren't recognized. How can we address this issue together? By applying emotional intelligence, you turn a potentially negative interaction into an opportunity for constructive collaboration. The reward for developing emotional intelligence is profound. You'll find that conflicts become less stressful and more manageable as you can navigate them with empathy, self-awareness, and control. Relationships will strengthen as trust and understanding are built through thoughtful and compassionate communication. You'll gain a reputation as a skilled and emotionally intelligent communicator, capable of resolving conflicts constructively and fostering positive interactions. Most importantly, you'll experience greater emotional well-being and resilience, knowing that you can handle conflicts and challenges with grace and confidence. By mastering emotional intelligence, you transform the way you handle conflicts, enhancing your relationships, empathy, and overall quality of life. Way 8. Seek common ground. Seeking common ground is an essential strategy in conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, it's easy to focus on differences and opposing viewpoints. However, identifying shared interests and goals can transform adversaries into collaborators, paving the way for mutually beneficial solutions. In conflict situations, emotions often run high, and people become entrenched in their positions. This can create a stalemate where neither party is willing to compromise or see the other's perspective. By shifting the focus to common ground, you can break this impasse and open the door to constructive dialogue and cooperation. To begin, acknowledge the emotions involved. Conflict can evoke feelings of frustration, anger, and hurt. Recognizing and validating these emotions is crucial. When individuals feel heard and understood, they are more likely to engage in meaningful discussions. Start by expressing empathy. I understand that this situation is upsetting for you. Let's work together to find a solution that benefits us both. Once emotions are acknowledged, steer the conversation towards shared interests. These are the underlying needs or goals that both parties want to achieve. For example, in a workplace conflict, both parties might share a common goal of completing a project successfully. By highlighting this shared objective, you create a foundation for collaboration. We both want this project to succeed. How can we align our efforts to make that happen? Finding common ground often involves reframing the conflict. Instead of viewing it as a zero-sum game where one party wins and the other loses, reframe it as a problem to be solved collectively. This perspective shift encourages cooperative problem-solving and reduces the adversarial nature of the conflict. Let's brainstorm ideas together to see how we can address this issue in a way that works for both of us. Active listening plays a crucial role in seeking common ground. By listening attentively to the other person's concerns and needs, you demonstrate respect and willingness to understand their perspective. Reflecting back what you've heard shows that you value their input. I hear you saying that you need more support to meet your deadlines. Let's explore how we can provide that support while also meeting the project's overall objectives. Compromise is often necessary to find common ground. This doesn't mean giving up on your needs or conceding defeat. Instead, it involves finding a middle ground where both parties can achieve their essential goals. Effective compromise requires flexibility and creativity. I can adjust my timeline to accommodate your needs if we can agree on certain milestones to ensure we stay on track. Building trust is another critical aspect of seeking common ground. Trust fosters open communication and reduces the fear of being taken advantage of. Trust building involves consistently demonstrating integrity, reliability, and respect. When people trust each other, they are more likely to engage in honest dialogue and collaborative problem-solving. I trust that we both want the best outcome. Let's be transparent about our constraints and find a way forward together. Conflict resolution is a process, not a one-time event. It requires ongoing communication, patience, and effort. Seeking common ground is about creating a continuous dialogue where both parties feel comfortable expressing their needs and concerns. Regular check-ins and follow-ups ensure that agreements are upheld and adjustments are made as necessary. Let's schedule regular meetings to review our progress and address any new issues that may arise. One of the most powerful outcomes of seeking common ground is the strengthening of relationships. When conflicts are resolved through collaboration and mutual respect, relationships become more resilient and capable of weathering future disagreements. The process of finding common ground builds a sense of partnership and shared purpose. By working through this conflict together, we've strengthened our ability to collaborate and support each other. Seeking common ground is not always easy. It requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to look beyond immediate differences. However, the rewards are substantial. You transform conflict from a source of division into an opportunity for growth and connection. Relationships deepen, trust flourishes, and solutions emerge that benefit everyone involved. Embrace the practice of seeking common ground in your conflicts. Approach disagreements with a mindset of collaboration and shared purpose. By doing so, you'll not only resolve conflicts more effectively, but also build stronger, more meaningful relationships that can withstand the challenges of life. Way 9. Focus on interests, not positions. When conflicts arise, it's common for people to dig in their heels and defend their positions. These positions are the specific demands or solutions they insist upon. However, positions often obscure the underlying interests, which are the needs, desires, and concerns that drive these positions. By shifting the focus from positions to interests, you can uncover deeper motivations and find more creative, mutually satisfying solutions. Consider a classic example of two people arguing over an orange. If each person insists on having the entire orange, they are fixated on their positions. However, if they discuss their interests, they might discover that one person wants the juice while the other needs the peel for a recipe. By addressing interests, they can both get what they need without anyone feeling deprived. In real-life conflicts, interests often include needs for security, recognition, respect, or a sense of belonging. These fundamental needs are usually more flexible than the rigid positions people initially present. To shift the focus to interests, start by asking open-ended questions. Why is this important to you? Or, what are you hoping to achieve with this solution? Listening actively and empathetically is crucial during this process. When someone shares their interests, acknowledge and validate their feelings. This creates a safe space for honest communication. I understand that feeling secure in your role is very important to you. Let's explore how we can ensure that while also addressing our team's needs. Once interests are on the table, you can work collaboratively to brainstorm solutions that satisfy these deeper needs. This approach often reveals a range of options that were not initially apparent. It encourages creativity and flexibility, turning what seemed like a zero-sum game into a win-win situation. For instance, in a workplace conflict where one employee feels overburdened while another seeks more responsibility, focusing on interests might reveal that the overburdened employee needs better work-life balance while the other wants professional growth opportunities. By understanding these interests, the team can redistribute tasks in a way that relieves stress while providing new challenges and growth for others. Negotiating based on interests rather than positions fosters a more collaborative and less adversarial atmosphere. It encourages open communication and mutual respect, reducing the likelihood of defensiveness and entrenched opposition. This method also helps to identify shared interests, which can serve as a foundation for agreement. For example, in a family dispute over vacation plans, focusing on positions might lead to a deadlock between beach lovers and mountain enthusiasts. However, by discussing interests, relaxation, adventure, family bonding, they might discover a destination that offers both types of activities, satisfying everyone's core desires. Focusing on interests also involves being clear and honest about your own needs and concerns. This transparency builds trust and shows that you are committed to finding a solution that works for all parties involved. It's essential to express your interests without framing them as non-negotiable demands. I need time to unwind and reconnect with nature during our vacation. What kind of activities help you relax and enjoy yourself? Sometimes interests might conflict, and finding a perfect solution can be challenging. In such cases, prioritizing and compromising on certain interests while safeguarding the most critical ones can lead to a balanced resolution. This process requires patience and a willingness to see the situation from multiple perspectives. Imagine a scenario where a community is divided over the development of a new park. One group prioritizes preserving green space, while another focuses on creating recreational facilities. By focusing on interests, they might agree on a design that maintains natural areas while incorporating playgrounds and sports fields, meeting both groups' needs to some extent. The benefits of focusing on interests extend beyond the immediate resolution of conflicts. This approach builds stronger relationships based on understanding and respect. It encourages continuous dialogue and cooperation, laying the groundwork for resolving future conflicts more effectively. When you make it a habit to focus on interests, you foster an environment where people feel heard and valued. This not only resolves current conflicts but also enhances trust and collaboration, making it easier to address potential disagreements proactively. People are more likely to engage in open, honest communication when they know their deeper needs will be considered and respected. Embracing the focus on interests transforms the way you approach conflicts. It shifts the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration, from rigid demands to flexible problem-solving. By prioritizing interests, you create opportunities for innovative solutions and foster relationships rooted in empathy and mutual respect. The reward for adopting this approach is significant. You will find that conflicts are resolved more amicably, relationships are strengthened, and you develop a reputation as a fair and insightful problem solver. By focusing on interests rather than positions, you enhance your ability to navigate complex interactions and create more harmonious and productive environments. Way 10. Embrace flexibility. Flexibility is an essential attribute in conflict resolution. It involves being open to different perspectives, adapting to new information, and being willing to change your approach. Flexibility allows for a dynamic response to conflicts, fostering an environment where creative solutions can emerge and evolve. Rigid thinking and an uncompromising stance often exacerbate conflicts, leading to impasses and heightened tensions. In contrast, flexibility encourages dialogue and collaboration. It allows you to respond to conflicts with a mindset geared towards finding workable solutions rather than insisting on a single, unchangeable outcome. Consider a scenario where two departments in an organization are at odds over resource allocation. Each department may have its own priorities and demands, creating a potential stalemate. Embracing flexibility means acknowledging that there are multiple ways to meet organizational goals. It involves exploring various resource allocation models and being open to modifying initial plans based on feedback and changing circumstances. Flexibility requires a balance between assertiveness and openness. While it's important to assert your needs and interests, it's equally crucial to remain open to alternative viewpoints and solutions. This balance ensures that while your core concerns are addressed, you are not dismissive of others' perspectives. For instance, in a family conflict over household chores, a rigid approach might involve assigning tasks strictly based on a predefined schedule. However, embracing flexibility might mean recognizing that schedules can be adjusted based on each family member's changing responsibilities and availability. By being open to renegotiating the chore distribution periodically, you can ensure fairness and cooperation. One key aspect of flexibility is the willingness to experiment and learn from outcomes. This means trying out different approaches to see what works best and being prepared to make adjustments as needed. In a workplace setting, this might involve piloting a new workflow or project management tool to see if it improves efficiency and then refining it based on user feedback. Flexibility also involves managing expectations and being prepared for change. Conflicts often arise from unmet expectations or unanticipated changes. By cultivating a flexible mindset, you can better handle these disruptions. This might involve developing contingency plans or being ready to pivot strategies when faced with new challenges. In personal relationships, flexibility can significantly enhance communication and understanding. Suppose partners are in conflict over how to spend their weekends. A rigid approach might result in a recurring argument, with each person insisting on their preferred activities. Flexibility, on the other hand, encourages finding a compromise that allows for a variety of activities, ensuring both partners feel heard and valued. However, flexibility does not mean abandoning your principles or compromising on critical values. It's about distinguishing between what is non-negotiable and what is adaptable. This discernment helps in maintaining integrity while being open to various pathways to resolution. In a professional context, this might mean adhering to core ethical standards while being flexible in how goals are achieved. A flexible approach can also help in de-escalating conflicts. When people feel that their ideas and contributions are valued and that there is room for negotiation, they are more likely to engage constructively. This reduces defensiveness and fosters a more collaborative atmosphere. Critically, flexibility involves self-reflection and the willingness to question your assumptions. Conflicts often stem from deeply held beliefs and biases. By reflecting on these and considering alternative viewpoints, you can develop a more nuanced understanding of the conflict. This might involve seeking feedback from others, engaging in dialogues with those who hold different perspectives, and being open to changing your stance based on new insights. For example, in a community dispute over urban development, flexibility might involve acknowledging the legitimate concerns of both developers and residents. By considering the environmental impact, economic benefits, and social implications, flexible negotiation can lead to innovative solutions that balance growth with sustainability and community well-being. Ultimately, embracing flexibility in conflict resolution fosters resilience and adaptability. It allows you to navigate complex and changing situations with greater ease and creativity. Relationships are strengthened as trust and respect grow through mutual understanding and cooperation. By flexibility, you transform conflicts into opportunities for learning and growth. You create an environment where differences are not seen as obstacles, but as sources of rich, diverse perspectives. This not only leads to more effective conflict resolution, but also enriches your interactions and relationships, making them more dynamic and fulfilling. In cultivating flexibility, you pave the way for more harmonious and productive engagements. Conflicts become less about winning or losing, and more about exploring and discovering shared paths forward. This approach not only resolves immediate disagreements, but also builds a foundation for ongoing collaboration and mutual respect. Way 11. Establish boundaries. Establishing boundaries is a critical element in managing and resolving conflicts. Boundaries are guidelines that define acceptable behavior and delineate personal limits. They protect your well-being and ensure that interactions remain respectful and constructive. Without clear boundaries, conflicts can escalate, leading to emotional exhaustion and strained relationships. The first step in establishing boundaries is self-awareness. You need to understand your limits, values, and what you are willing to tolerate. Reflect on past conflicts to identify situations where boundaries were crossed and consider how those experiences impacted you. This self-reflection helps you recognize your non-negotiables and the areas where you need to draw the line. Clear communication is essential in setting boundaries. Express your needs and limits assertively but respectfully. Use I statements to avoid sounding accusatory, which can provoke defensiveness. For example, say, "I need some time alone to recharge after work," instead of, "You always demand my attention when I'm tired." This approach focuses on your needs rather than blaming the other person. It's also important to be specific when establishing boundaries. Vague boundaries can lead to misunderstandings and further conflict. Instead of saying, "I need space," clarify what that means. "I need 30 minutes of quiet time after work to unwind." Specificity ensures that others understand your expectations clearly and can respect them accordingly. Consistency in enforcing boundaries is crucial. If you set a boundary but frequently allow it to be crossed, it loses its effectiveness. Consistently upholding your boundaries reinforces their importance and helps others understand that they need to respect them. For instance, if you've set a boundary around not working past a certain hour, adhere to it even when there's pressure to make exceptions. However, enforcing boundaries doesn't mean being inflexible. It's about finding a balance between maintaining your limits and being adaptable when necessary. In some cases, you may need to reassess and adjust your boundaries based on changing circumstances. For example, a boundary about not working weekends might need adjustment during a critical project deadline, but should be reinstated afterward. Boundaries are not just about limiting negative interactions, but also about promoting positive ones. They create a structure that facilitates healthy and respectful communication. When both parties understand each other's boundaries, it reduces misunderstandings and promotes a more harmonious relationship. This mutual respect helps prevent conflicts from arising in the first place. In a workplace setting, boundaries are vital for maintaining professional relationships and preventing burnout. Establish clear boundaries around work hours, availability, and workload. Communicate these boundaries to your colleagues and supervisors and advocate for yourself if they are not respected. For example, if a colleague frequently interrupts your work with non-urgent requests, you might say, "I'm happy to help, but I need to focus on this task right now. Can we discuss this later?" In personal relationships, boundaries are essential for maintaining individual autonomy and mutual respect. They help partners, family members, and friends understand each other's needs and limits. For instance, in a romantic relationship, setting boundaries around personal space and time can prevent feelings of suffocation and ensure both partners have time for self-care. Establishing boundaries also involves respecting others' boundaries. Just as you have your limits, others have theirs. Listen and honor their boundaries as you would want them to honor yours. This mutual respect fosters trust and reduces the likelihood of conflicts. If a friend says they need space, respect their request without taking it personally. One challenge in setting boundaries is dealing with resistance or pushback. Some people may not readily accept your boundaries, especially if they're accustomed to certain dynamics. Stay firm and reiterate the importance of your boundaries for your well-being. For instance, if a family member is resistant to your boundary about not discussing certain topics, calmly explain why it's important to you and how it contributes to a healthier relationship. Boundaries can evolve over time. Regularly reassess them to ensure they still align with your needs and circumstances. As you grow and change, your boundaries might need adjustments. This ongoing process of setting, enforcing, and reassessing boundaries ensures they remain relevant and effective. The benefits of establishing boundaries are significant. They lead to healthier, more respectful relationships, reduce stress and resentment, and enhance your overall well-being. Boundaries empower you to take control of your interactions and protect your mental and emotional health. They create a foundation for positive, productive conflict resolution by ensuring that all parties feel respected and valued. By establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, you navigate conflicts with greater confidence and clarity. You prevent small issues from escalating into major conflicts and create an environment where respectful communication thrives. This proactive approach to conflict management not only resolves existing issues, but also fosters a culture of mutual respect and understanding, paving the way for more harmonious and fulfilling relationships. Way 12. Develop patience and tolerance. Patience and tolerance are essential virtues when it comes to resolving conflicts. These qualities enable you to handle disagreements with composure and understanding, allowing for a more thoughtful and effective resolution process. Developing patience and tolerance means cultivating the ability to stay calm in the face of provocation and to accept differences without judgment or hostility. Conflicts often arise from differences in opinions, values, and behaviors. When these differences trigger frustration or anger, it can be challenging to respond constructively. Patience allows you to take a step back, breathe, and approach the situation with a clear mind. It gives you the time to think before you react, reducing the likelihood of impulsive responses that can escalate the conflict. For instance, imagine you are in a heated discussion with a colleague who has a different approach to a project. Instead of immediately dismissing their ideas or insisting on your method, practice patience. Take a moment to listen fully and understand their perspective. This pause not only shows respect, but also gives you the opportunity to consider alternative solutions that might be beneficial. Tolerance, on the other hand, is about accepting that others have the right to their own viewpoints and ways of doing things, even when they differ from yours. It involves recognizing that diversity in thoughts and behaviors enriches interactions and can lead to more innovative solutions. Tolerance is not about agreement, but about respect and acceptance. Consider a scenario where a neighbor's habits irritate you. Perhaps they play loud music at times you find inconvenient. Instead of reacting angrily, tolerance involves trying to understand their perspective. Perhaps music is a way for them to relax after a long day. Approaching the situation with tolerance might involve having a calm conversation to find a compromise, such as agreeing on quieter hours or using headphones. Building patience and tolerance starts with self-awareness. Recognize your triggers and the situations that test your patience. Understanding these can help you prepare and manage your responses more effectively. Practice mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing or meditation, to stay centered and calm during conflicts. These practices can help you remain composed and focused, even in challenging situations. Empathy is closely linked to tolerance. Putting yourself in the other person's shoes and trying to understand their feelings and motivations can foster greater tolerance. Empathy allows you to see beyond your own perspective and appreciate the experiences that shape others' viewpoints. This understanding can reduce friction and build stronger, more compassionate connections. In conflict situations, patience involves giving the other person the time and space to express themselves fully. Interrupting or rushing to respond can shut down communication and increase tension. Instead, practice active listening. Let the other person speak without interruption, nodding or using small verbal cues to show you are engaged. This patience demonstrates respect and can de-escalate the conflict, making it easier to reach a resolution. Tolerance also involves managing your expectations. People have different ways of communicating, resolving conflicts, and expressing themselves. Expecting others to behave or think exactly like you sets the stage for disappointment and conflict. By accepting and appreciating these differences, you create a more inclusive and harmonious environment. In a family setting, patience and tolerance are crucial for maintaining harmony. Family members often have different habits, routines, and preferences. Patience helps you navigate these differences without frustration, while tolerance allows you to accept and celebrate the uniqueness of each member. This approach fosters a supportive and loving family dynamic. Workplaces, too, benefit greatly from patience and tolerance. Diverse teams bring a variety of perspectives and ideas, which can lead to conflicts if not managed well. Patience helps in hearing out all viewpoints, while tolerance encourages a culture of respect and inclusion. This combination enhances teamwork and collaboration, leading to more innovative and effective outcomes. Developing patience and tolerance is an ongoing process. It requires practice and a commitment to personal growth. Reflect on your interactions and identify areas where you can improve. Celebrate small victories when you successfully manage your reactions or show greater tolerance. Over time, these qualities become more ingrained, making it easier to navigate conflicts with grace and understanding. The rewards of patience and tolerance are profound. You will find that conflicts become less frequent and less intense. Relationships deepen as mutual respect and understanding grow. You become known as a calm and fair-minded individual, capable of handling difficult situations with poise. Most importantly, you experience greater inner peace and resilience, knowing that you can face conflicts without losing your composure. Embrace the journey of developing patience and tolerance. These qualities will transform not only how you handle conflicts, but also how you interact with the world. They open the door to more meaningful connections, reduce stress, and create a more harmonious and fulfilling life. By practicing patience and tolerance, you build a foundation for enduring peace and understanding in all your relationships. Way 13. Practice emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, is a powerful tool in conflict resolution. It involves the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. By cultivating emotional intelligence, you enhance your capacity to navigate conflicts with empathy, insight, and self-control. The first component of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. This involves being conscious of your emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors. Self-awareness allows you to identify your emotional triggers and understand how your reactions might contribute to the conflict. For example, if you notice that you become defensive when receiving criticism, recognizing this pattern can help you approach feedback with a more open mind. Self-regulation, another key aspect of EI, is the ability to manage your emotions effectively. This means controlling impulsive reactions, staying calm under pressure, and handling stressful situations with composure. In a conflict, self-regulation helps you maintain control over your responses, preventing escalation. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, you can pause, take a deep breath, and choose a more constructive response. For instance, imagine you're in a meeting where a colleague makes a remark that irritates you. Instead of immediately snapping back, self-regulation allows you to take a moment to process your feelings and respond thoughtfully. You might say, "I see your point, but I have a different perspective I'd like to share," thereby maintaining a productive dialogue. Empathy, a critical element of emotional intelligence, involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others. It requires active listening and putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Empathy allows you to see the conflict from the other person's perspective, fostering mutual understanding and reducing hostility. When you demonstrate empathy, you show that you value the other person's feelings and experiences, which can significantly de-escalate tensions. In practice, empathy might involve acknowledging the other person's emotions and validating their feelings. For example, if a friend is upset because they feel neglected, you might say, "I can see that you're really hurt, and I understand why you feel that way." Let's talk about how we can improve our communication. This approach helps to bridge the emotional gap and opens the door for constructive problem solving. Social skills, another component of EI, are essential for effective conflict resolution. These skills include effective communication, relationship management, and the ability to build rapport. Good social skills help you navigate social complexities and resolve conflicts in a way that maintains and strengthens relationships. They enable you to articulate your thoughts clearly, listen actively, and engage in meaningful dialogue. In a workplace scenario, strong social skills can help you mediate conflicts between team members. By facilitating open communication and encouraging a collaborative approach to problem solving, you can help the team find a solution that respects everyone's contributions and needs. Motivation, the final component of emotional intelligence, involves being driven to achieve goals for reasons beyond external rewards. In the context of conflict resolution, motivation helps you stay focused on the bigger picture and work towards a resolution that benefits all parties involved. It encourages you to remain committed to the process, even when it becomes challenging. For example, if you're working through a conflict with a business partner, staying motivated to find a mutually beneficial solution can help you persevere through difficult conversations and setbacks. Your commitment to maintaining a positive and productive partnership can drive you to explore creative solutions and compromises. Developing emotional intelligence is a lifelong journey. It requires continuous self-reflection, learning, and practice. One effective way to enhance your EI is through mindfulness practices. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aware of your emotions, allowing you to respond rather than react. Regular mindfulness meditation can improve your emotional regulation, empathy, and overall emotional intelligence. Another way to build EI is through feedback. Seek feedback from trusted friends, colleagues, or mentors about how you handle conflicts and emotions. Their insights can provide valuable perspectives on your strengths and areas for improvement. Use this feedback to develop specific strategies for enhancing your emotional intelligence. Role-playing can also be a helpful tool. Practice handling conflicts with a friend or coach, focusing on applying EI principles. This can help you build confidence and refine your skills in a supportive environment. The benefits of high emotional intelligence in conflict resolution are profound. You will find that conflicts become less stressful and more manageable. Relationships improve as you navigate disagreements with empathy and respect. Your ability to influence and inspire others grows, enhancing your leadership capabilities. Most importantly, you gain greater emotional resilience and well-being. Embracing emotional intelligence transforms how you approach conflicts. It equips you with the skills to handle disputes with grace and effectiveness, turning potential confrontations into opportunities for growth and connection. By practicing emotional intelligence, you not only resolve conflicts more successfully, but also enrich your interactions and relationships, creating a more harmonious and fulfilling life. Way 14. Seek mediation. When conflicts become particularly challenging or entrenched, seeking mediation can be a powerful way to facilitate resolution. Mediation involves bringing in a neutral third party to help the conflicting parties communicate more effectively, understand each other's perspectives, and find a mutually acceptable solution. This process can be especially useful when emotions run high or when direct communication has repeatedly failed to yield positive results. Mediation provides a structured environment where both parties can express their concerns and interests. The mediator's role is to guide the discussion, ensure that both parties are heard, and keep the conversation focused on finding a resolution. This impartial presence can help reduce the tension and prevent the conflict from escalating further. One of the primary benefits of mediation is that it fosters open communication. Often, in the heat of conflict, people talk past each other, focusing more on winning the argument than on understanding the other person's point of view. A mediator facilitates dialogue by encouraging each party to listen actively and speak respectfully. This helps to break down barriers and allows for more meaningful exchanges. For instance, in a workplace dispute over team responsibilities, a mediator might help the parties involved articulate their frustrations and expectations clearly. By doing so, the team members can better understand each other's pressures and constraints, leading to a more collaborative and less adversarial atmosphere. Mediation also encourages a focus on interests rather than positions. Positions are the specific outcomes each party wants, while interests are the underlying needs and desires driving those positions. A mediator helps the parties move beyond their entrenched positions to explore their interests. This shift often reveals common ground and opens up new possibilities for resolution. Consider a family conflict over an inheritance. Family members may have rigid positions about who should receive what. A mediator can help them explore their interests, such as financial security, emotional attachments to certain items, or fairness. Understanding these interests can lead to creative solutions that address everyone's needs, such as dividing the inheritance in ways that provide both financial benefits and sentimental value. The confidentiality of mediation is another significant advantage. Parties can speak openly without fear that their words will be used against them later. This creates a safe space for honest communication and vulnerability, which are essential for resolving deep-seated conflicts. Confidentiality ensures that the discussions remain private and that the parties feel secure in expressing their true feelings and concerns. A mediator also brings expertise in conflict resolution techniques. They can introduce tools and strategies that the parties might not have considered. For example, they might use techniques like role reversal, where each party argues from the other's perspective to foster empathy and understanding. They might also employ brainstorming sessions to generate a wide range of potential solutions before narrowing them down to the most feasible ones. For mediation to be effective, both parties need to be willing participants. They must be open to the process and committed to finding a resolution. If one party is unwilling to engage in good faith, mediation is less likely to succeed. However, when both parties are genuinely invested in resolving the conflict, mediation can be incredibly effective. The mediator's neutrality is crucial. They must be impartial and unbiased, without a stake in the outcome. This ensures that both parties trust the process and feel that their concerns are being addressed fairly. Finding a skilled mediator, often through recommendations or professional mediation services, is an important step in ensuring a successful mediation process. Mediation can be used in a wide range of conflicts, from personal disputes to complex organizational issues. In community conflicts, such as disputes between neighbors or disagreements over local policies, mediation can help create solutions that benefit the entire community. In legal settings, Mediation can often resolve disputes without the need for lengthy and costly court battles. The process of mediation itself can be enlightening and transformative. It teaches valuable skills in communication, empathy, and problem-solving that the parties can carry forward into other aspects of their lives. Even after the specific conflict is resolved, these skills can help prevent future conflicts or manage them more effectively when they arise. In the end, seeking mediation demonstrates a commitment to resolving conflicts constructively and collaboratively. It acknowledges that while conflicts are a natural part of human interactions, they don't have to lead to destructive outcomes. Instead, with the right approach and tools, conflicts can be opportunities for growth, understanding, and strengthened relationships. By embracing mediation, you enhance your ability to handle conflicts in a way that fosters mutual respect and understanding. You create an environment where all parties feel heard and valued, leading to more sustainable and satisfying resolutions. Mediation not only resolves the immediate issue, but also builds a foundation for more positive and effective conflict management in the future. Way 15. Cultivate a growth mindset. Cultivating a growth mindset is a powerful approach to conflict resolution. A growth mindset, a concept developed by psychologist Carol Dweck, involves believing that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This perspective transforms how you perceive conflicts, viewing them not as threats or setbacks, but as opportunities for growth and learning. When you approach conflict with a growth mindset, you see it as a chance to develop new skills, deepen your understanding, and strengthen relationships. This mindset shift can reduce the stress and anxiety that often accompany conflicts, making you more resilient and proactive in addressing them. A growth mindset encourages you to focus on solutions rather than dwelling on the problems. It helps you stay open to new information and perspectives, which can lead to more innovative and effective resolutions. Instead of getting stuck in a fixed position, you become more flexible and adaptable, willing to explore different approaches and learn from the experience. For example, in a workplace conflict over project management, a growth mindset can help you view the situation as an opportunity to improve your collaboration and leadership skills. Rather than seeing the disagreement as a personal failure or a source of frustration, you can approach it with curiosity and a willingness to learn. This might involve seeking feedback, experimenting with new strategies, and reflecting on what works and what doesn't. Developing a growth mindset involves several key practices. First, embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. When faced with a conflict, remind yourself that it is a chance to build your problem-solving abilities and emotional intelligence. This positive framing can shift your attitude from one of avoidance or defensiveness to one of engagement and enthusiasm. Second, view setbacks and mistakes as learning experiences. Conflicts often involve miscommunications, misunderstandings, or mistakes. Instead of blaming yourself or others, use these moments as opportunities to learn and improve. Ask yourself what you can do differently next time and how you can apply these lessons to future interactions. For instance, if a conflict arises because of a miscommunication with a colleague, reflect on how you can enhance your communication skills. Perhaps you need to be clearer in your messages, listen more actively, or ask for feedback to ensure mutual understanding. By focusing on growth, you turn setbacks into stepping stones toward better conflict resolution. Third, seek out and appreciate feedback. Feedback is essential for growth, providing insights into how others perceive your actions and how you can improve. In conflict situations, actively seek feedback from the other party to understand their perspective and identify areas for improvement. This might involve asking questions like, how can I communicate more effectively? Or, what can I do to make our collaboration smoother? Fourth, practice persistence and resilience. Conflicts can be challenging and sometimes discouraging, but a growth mindset encourages you to keep trying, even when solutions are not immediately apparent. Persistence involves staying committed to resolving the conflict and continuously working toward a positive outcome. Resilience helps you bounce back from setbacks and maintain your focus on growth and improvement. Consider a personal relationship conflict where repeated misunderstandings cause friction. A growth mindset helps you stay committed to improving the relationship, even when progress seems slow. It encourages you to keep trying new communication strategies, seeking understanding, and finding common ground. Over time, this persistence can lead to deeper mutual respect and stronger bonds. Fifth, celebrate progress and small victories. Recognizing and appreciating even minor improvements can reinforce your growth mindset. Celebrate the moments when you handle conflicts more effectively, communicate more clearly, or find innovative solutions. These acknowledgements boost your confidence and motivation to continue growing. For example, if you manage to resolve a heated argument with a friend by staying calm and empathetic, celebrate this achievement. Reflect on what you did well and how it contributed to the positive outcome. These reflections reinforce your growth mindset and encourage continued effort and improvement. A growth mindset also involves fostering a culture of learning and growth in your interactions and relationships. Encourage others to adopt this mindset by modeling it in your behavior. Show that you value learning and improvement and support others in their efforts to grow. This collective growth mindset can create an environment where conflicts are approached constructively and collaboratively. In a team setting, for instance, you can promote a growth mindset by encouraging open dialogue, sharing learning experiences, and supporting each other's development. When conflicts arise, frame them as opportunities for the team to learn and improve together. This collaborative approach can lead to more innovative solutions and a stronger, more cohesive team. Ultimately, cultivating a growth mindset transforms how you approach conflicts, making them less intimidating and more manageable. It empowers you to view challenges as opportunities, stay resilient in the face of setbacks, and continuously improve your conflict resolution skills. By embracing a growth mindset, you not only enhance your ability to handle conflicts effectively, but also enrich your personal and professional life with a spirit of continuous learning and development. By fostering this mindset, you build a foundation for ongoing growth and success in all areas of life. Conflicts become catalysts for personal and collective growth, leading to stronger relationships, better communication, and a more fulfilling and harmonious existence. Conflict is an inevitable part of life, but with the right strategies, you can turn it into a powerful force for growth and connection. By applying these 15 transformative ways to deal with conflict, you will not only resolve disputes more effectively, but also strengthen your relationships, enhance your emotional intelligence, and create a more harmonious life. Remember, the journey to mastering conflict resolution is ongoing. Each conflict presents an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Embrace the process, stay committed to your personal development, and watch as your ability to navigate conflicts transforms your life. If you found these insights helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences and any additional tips you have in the comments below. How have you dealt with conflicts in the past, and what new strategies are you excited to try? And if you want to continue this journey of personal growth and learn more about transforming your life, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's grow together and turn every challenge into a stepping stone for success.